everyone. This is your pick a card. What do you need to know? And what I mean by that is, what do you need to know right now from the universe, from God, from your angels? What is the message of knowledge that will help you get to the next point that you need to reach? Or what is the honest truth about what it is that you need to hear at this moment within your life? Doesn't matter if you're watching this today that I recorded it or 10 years from now. Whenever you see this video, it's meant for you to see it. So what you want to do with these pick a card readings is listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. What stone, what pile of cards called you first? Which one? Was it group one or pile one, pile two, or pile three? Just let your intuition guide you. Take a few moments if you need it. Pause the video, and once you decide which group you want to be a part of, I will have the timestamps below in the description. Okay, you can also check the comments. So with that being said, let's get right into it, starting with group one, then we'll move on to group two, and then group three. Okay, group one. So, you have, first off, as I was shuffling the cards and just picking up on your energy, I literally heard the word patience. And what is so funny to me, when I do these pick a card readings, I don't like to look at the cards until, I mean, of course, if I'm guided to look at the pile, and sit on it, I will. But for the most part, I don't look at the cards until I actually turn them over with you. And patience was the word I heard. And out of all the cards in the deck, if I could think of one card that means patience, it would be the Seven of Coins, which is this card right here that you all have. So first off, a lot of what the main message I got with this right now, as far as what you need to know, is to be patient with love. If you try to rush a love scenario that you desire, this is where issues come about. You'll get that love that you want, but it won't be long lasting, or the vital details that keep a relationship structure or consistency will be slowed down, because instead of going after the things that vibrationally are attracted to us or that we need, we start to get into lower mind ego of what I want. And nothing is wrong with having desires. That is part of the earthly experience. But when you rush those desires, it's just like GMO food. You rush this process. You try to preserve this process of food and adding scientific chemicals to it, and it takes away the nutritional value of the food ultimately. And so it kind of makes me feel like that with your reading. It's like you all are trying to rush a situation, whether it's financial or whether it's with love, and by doing that, yeah, you'll still get this fruit, but will it be a GMO, genetically modified fruit with half the nutrients and vitamins? Or would you rather wait and let the natural seed grow and water it and not put a bunch of chemicals and pesticides on it to rush the process or to try to keep what you want, but it ultimately isn't healthy for you? So I know that's kind of weird, but that's the only analogy I could think of. But I feel that you're doing this. You're doing this. Some of you all, you want this big break. You're ready for your happy moment. You're ready for your celebrations. You're ready for that contract. You're ready for that music career. You're ready for that job. You're ready to finish school. And instead of enjoying the process, which how many times in life have we looked back and said, when we were younger, oh, I wish I would have lived a little bit more. I wish I would have had more fun. Or I wish I would have taken things easier on myself. And it's like we forget that those moments can still possibly be, in the present. Like we look at the past and think, oh, I used to feel like that. But what about when you're 80? You'll probably feel like that when, looking back to your 40s. So, and it doesn't matter what age you are, but it feels like that. Be patient with the process. Okay. I feel heavy Libra energy. So a lot of you all are Libras or dealing with Libras or are at these places to where even some of you could be dealing with a legal situation or a situation that deals with like truth and diplomacy and honesty. And I do feel like everything in life right now is working for you. I just think, and you also have this number 3 that's also being heavily highlighted. So I would study and look into the numerology meaning of 3 and spiritually what the angelic number of 3 means and just things like that, because it seems like that number is very important. For some of you all, lean on your friends. The 3 of Cups ultimately brings celebration and it brings friendships. It gives you an energy of sisterhood or brotherhood if you're a man, and you're not in it alone. Now, my thing is, make sure that your patience is worth it though. Make sure that you're not putting all of this patience into this Knight of Wands, who is in and out of your life, who is not consistent. Could be Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. He or she is all over the place. And for some of you, I'm hearing these are friends who only want to be around when times are good. That's not a friend. That's maybe a buddy who you can kick it with or hang out with, but that's ultimately not a friend if they can only be around when liquor is involved, or if they always want to just have some type of partying going on. So it's saying, watch these people that are in and out. And I'm also hearing that you cannot run from yourself. So many of us, we point the finger, oh, my dad, my mom, my ex-husband, it's this person. But guess what? You're attracting all of that energy. So be real with yourself. Okay. And you all have the card of express your love. Go ahead and make a romantic gesture. And I think for some of you all, with this Judgment card, it is the call to action. It is the time to go ahead and make that decision to call that person who you love. Reach out to them. But some of you all, the problem is that you're the one that's constantly expressing your love and constantly reaching out to this person who is not giving you the same energy in return. And it's not tit for tat in love and life, but it has to make sense. You're not about to keep going to a job that's not paying you. Stop being in a relationship that's not serving you. Stop being in a relationship with someone who is single. What do I mean by that? You're focusing all your energy on this one person who is a hothead, who is a hot mess, who's all over the place, back and forth, maybe even dealing with temperament issues, and you're focused on them while they're focused on someone else. For others of you, this is you running from love. And this is spirit saying, stop running from love. Embrace it. If you want a long-term relationship, ultimately, yes, you can have your flings and you can have your one-night stands, and that's great. But ultimately, we all get old. Like Drake said, who wants to be 70 and alone? Okay? If you don't know that song, look it up. Okay, so I hope this helped group 1. This is what you need to know from the universe right now. If you ever need to get a reading with me, you can always email me at crystalneath@gmail.com. I hope this helped in some way, and I will see you for the next pick a card. Group 2, as I was sitting with your energy, as I was shuffling the cards, what I heard was time, specifically the word time. And once I pulled your cards over, I realized what this was all about. Your number is 8. So group 2, I want you to be the number 8 guru. I want you to research the number 8. What does it mean in numerology? And what does the angelic number of 8 mean? What does it mean? The figure 8, what does it mean? All of these, whatever you can think of that's associated with the number 8, I want you to look into it. It's funny because 8 is also, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let's see. Libra is the 7th house. Yes, Scorpio is the 8th house. So group 8, astrologically speaking, you're going through a rebirth. You're going through a straight up rebirth. Why do I say that? 8 on the death card. Okay, here, let's turn it around so you can see. 8 on the death card. Then you have the 8 of Wands and the 0 of the Fool. So this clearly says to me that group 2, your message right now is to allow yourself to be reborn again, because the 8th house in astrology deals with death and endings for new beginnings, transitions. It's not really an ending if you think about it, because Scorpio is not the last zodiac sign. It's actually the 8th out of 12. So if it's the 8th out of 12, you still have more steps after this rebirth and this ending. And if you think about it in life, we constantly die and we're reborn. And so we make it so dramatic when this time comes of change and needing to uproot and to stop going back to the old thing. And when we keep trying to go back to that old thing, relationship, job, excuses, pain, turmoil, we wonder why we keep getting more of that. Well, you're not allowing change to come in. And it's just so obvious that, and don't get me wrong, half of you are. Half of you understand that I need this rebirth and that I have to change and I have to get out of my stuck ways in order to get this new reality that I want to be living in. But the other half of you are waiting desperately for this man to appear in the clouds. It's like, yeah, it's giving me like desperation, and it's time to move on. This woman shouldn't have to live her life waiting on him to float magically out of these clouds. Like, she has to move on. And I feel that for some of you, that is the message. It's like, move forward, try something new. It's time to travel. It's time to move out of that old house. It's time to sell the property. It's time to take a trip. It's time to, for some of you, yes, it is going to be a reconciliation that's going to give you the closure you need so you can move forward. But ultimately, we can't hold up our lives waiting on mom to apologize for the things she said to us, or for our boyfriend to come back and admit how wrong he was. Like, we can't. We have to ultimately dead that energy, forgive the people who have hurt us, and move forward. We have to forgive the friends who have hurt us and move forward. A lot of you all, this is new information and new energy and feeling like a new person once you actually decide to move forward. But if you keep holding back, waiting on this reconciliation that could take God knows how long to come, it's just going to cause more issues. Now, yes, I do feel like if your question was, will this person come back? It's yes. Will we have reconciliation? Of course. But you can't wait around for it and hold your life up based off this. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I just think that it has to come across that way, because my people in group 2, I feel that you are known for going back to old habits, going back to old things. It's time. And that's why your word was time. It's time to move on. Are you wasting time? Are you using your time on earth properly? Don't waste your time on someone who's not wasting their time on you. Things like that. And for some of you all, you get this and you've learned. This actually hit for you if you're watching this now in August, to where you were like, I see the truth in this, and it's time for me to go. It's time for me to move forward with what it is that I need to do in my life. And I would highly advise that group 2. And I feel that once you do get to that realization that, you know what, I don't know what the future holds, but I know what the past does. And I don't want to keep recreating that. So it's time for me to move forward. It's time for me to make that decision that some people would say is foolish, or it's time for me to jump out there and chase my dreams. Nothing is holding me back but myself. And this pick a card reading is here to tell you it's time now. Do the things necessary to make your dreams a reality. Do the things necessary to create a new love scenario or a new work scenario or career that you enjoy. For those of you, when it's like you're having an issue within your life or your children or whatever, the answer is to try something new, because the old thing, your old patterns are not serving you anymore. And time is not on your side. I'm sorry to tell you, with this reading, time is not on your side, and you don't have time to keep wasting and waiting for people and things to change that are not ultimately going to change unless you do. So I love you, and I know that you're going to trust your instincts and that you know what this is about. And keep in mind, if these messages are meant for you, they will resonate. And if not, I'm glad you still listened, and I'm sure that if you really think about it, it'll hit home in one area of your life. But regardless, group two, I hope this helped in some way. I definitely think that, right now is the time to push paperwork, go after your dreams, take a trip, travel. For some of you all, this is just going to be letting go. A trip is going to come about, and on this trip, on this new journey, so many different spiritual awakenings are going to happen for you. And it's almost like you're going to snap out of this bad dream, or snap out of this false reality that at first you created for yourself and now it no longer exists. So I love this. I love this. I love this reading so much, and hope this helped. If you ever need to get a private reading with me, you can do so by emailing me at crystalneath@gmail.com. And I will see you later for your next pick a card reading. All right, and finally, group three. Group three, as I was meditating on your energy, the word that I heard was togetherness. Very random, I know, but that is what I heard. Togetherness, it didn't give me an energy necessarily of partnership, but it definitely could be. Okay. And I guess it makes sense, when we think about togetherness, but I think it's so much deeper than that. I think it's asking you to look at all of your connections that you have with the people in your life, from your children to your inner child. And I am hearing this energy of group three needs to learn to tie in their younger, more innocent self with their adult self. Because group three, a lot of you all have had so many family issues, and some of you, it's not that you had extreme family issues, but some of you all have dealt with the loss of a family member, a close family member, like a parent, and you are still having issues with that, to where somehow it's affecting your love life. So it'll be different for each and every one of you all. But what really stuck out to me was, for one, that the card, that your word that I heard was togetherness. And then you have this card of healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And once again, it's about this tribal energy that we need. And for some of you all in group three, I'm really feeling that you're loners. You're the type of people who not necessarily aren't, extroverts or anything like that. I hope did I say that right? Introverts, extrovert. I think that's right. Introvert. I think I said it right. Anyway, you know what I mean. Group three, I'm not saying that you're not outgoing, but what I'm saying is that this is hitting a part of you that is alone. You might act as if you're, being nice and friendly to people, and you are. You seem like a very good-hearted person, but I think what is happening is it's this silent voice within you that's not being heard. And you're going to find this way of being able to vocalize the way that you feel spiritually and emotionally through togetherness of other people and friends and family, and realizing that, what, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And we've seen it. It's not this personality type that comes with people who have isolated themselves out of hurt and out of fear, or people who have masked their issues growing up in their childhood to try to be the bigger person or grow. But that still has to be healed, because until you heal your issues with your mother and father, whether it's trust issues, abuse, alcoholism, just mistrust, and for some of you, like I said, it could be just losing that parent, but something is going on within your family dynamic, or at least your tribal energy, whether it's your friend group or something like that needs to be healed. And once you decide to heal that, you will see so much more grow out of your life. Now, I think for some of you all, you're looking for love that you haven't yet found within yourself, or looking for love that you received from a father, or you didn't receive from a father or a mother for men. And I think that too, some of you all are literally dealing with a issue that needs to be resolved and forgiven with, like, your child's father or your ex-husband or something like that. And, it's saying that by being honest about your emotions with the Page of Cups, healing that inner child, you are going to find new ways of moving forward. And even for some of you, connecting with your children. And a lot of you all, this is simply thinking about going back home. Some of you all are just like, I am ready for that togetherness. I need that support, but I don't want to go back. And I actually kind of agree. I don't think you need to go back, but I do think you need to find that energy of togetherness wherever you are, whether it's with your new family, your immediate family, a friend circle that you create. Now we're so fortunate to have even the internet and being able to talk and converse with people who are in the same situation as you, whether it's love, needing that togetherness. Some of you all need it back in your relationship, and you need that love back in your relationship. But unfortunately, both for a small group of you, you were raised differently. So one person is having this point of view with the relationship, and you're having this point of view, and it's causing a clash. Okay. But the Six of Swords, it says that constantly going back to old hurt, old childhood pain is not the answer either. Reliving and just sulking and playing around in that sadness is not the answer either. Talking to a counselor or a therapist or a good friend and finding those connections that are out here is the answer. Not going back to, oh, well, if this person cheated on me and hurt me, they'll do it too. It's like, no, why are you going back to old past beliefs? That's our issue. That's why we have issues with being able to appreciate our present life and our present moment, because we always want to worry about the future and stay stuck in the past. What room for growth do we have for the present moment? And we wonder why we keep repeating these cycles. So the Six of Swords is saying, move forward, move on. Move to something new. Move to a new point of view. And we have the Scythe. Ooh. Okay. And the Scythe deals with, it's a season for everything. It's a season for everything. Everything serves a purpose under the sun. Okay. And there's what does it say? There's a time and a season for, here, you know what? How about this? How about I just look up the passage that goes along with the Scythe so I don't slaughter the quote? Because as we know by now, if you've been with me, I'm not good when it comes to trying to quote something. Okay. Yes. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. That's what it is. And this card is all about, deep wounds, deep hurt that we've dealt with, probably since childhood, not being able to properly express ourselves, even if you didn't go through any emotional issues as a child, learning how to work through that. I know sometimes we get hurt and we think the best thing to do is slash, I don't know, hurt people with our words and cut them. And I do feel like that this needs to be cut out of your life, because some of you feel that you push people away, and to a certain extent you are, with your not either allowing others to hurt you constantly, and it's not building up the confidence you need to keep people around, and or you doing this to other people. Like they say, hurt people hurt people. So it's saying you have to really work on that, because it's a dangerous thing to keep going back to old habits that don't give you what you need. For some of you all, I'm hearing that you need to write. You need to write, or read a love novel, something like that. Something is going to inspire you, but it's focusing on what you love and what you need, and getting back to that inner child within you and not going back to old situations. Heavy Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So use your intuition to figure out what this is that you will be cutting out of your life, that you need to get rid of, figuring out what it is that you need to heal through to ultimately move forward, so you don't keep going back to that old thought process, that old belief system that doesn't work for you anymore. So through togetherness with other people, and for some of you, this will be through children. You'll have to connect with children and little animals in order to feel this innocence of, that you've lost over the years, but you can regain. Okay, so really what I'm seeing overall, And it doesn't matter when you're watching this video, but it will be appropriate for the time being. Music I'm hearing will be very helpful. I think group 3 also needs to implement like some binaural beats, affirmations. Definitely self-love affirmations will be so helpful. Like if you could do this for the next 21 days, looking into benefits of affirmations and positive frequency music. Some of you all are writers and you have to get back to writing again, and you have to get back to expressing yourself through music or through art. And by doing so, is going to bless you on a tremendous level, okay? Yes, really what I'm feeling overall. And I hope that this helped in some way. Group 3, if you ever need to get a private reading with me, you can do so by emailing me at crystalneath@gmail.com. Besides that, I'll see you later for your next pick a card reading.